to the car.
Live. That's just getting bigger. Every time I hit this, I'm like, turn that down.
Yeah, because I'm glad it did that.
Do I hit this?
What is that?
Wire glass. Oh my God, I don't know what's going on.
What is this?
Hello. Live in a minute 12. What is going on?
I think you should post a comment trying to get out the visuals. Could remember. You think I need to call for lunch? You know how to work this thing.
Yeah, go ahead. I can't remember what we did last week. More people watching. It never does it like that, so I don't understand.
Now we're having some technical difficulties trying to get on the live.
All right, everybody, here we go. All right, welcome to Warrior Class.
Where the teachers whip ass.
And you will too.
If you pass.
All right. This is Batter Up Warrior Class. Now, you'll see this one's live. I have celebrity hosts with me. The co-hosts with me are celebrities, so sometimes they be making movies and stuff like that. So we gotta, this week we had to go live
Once again
today. So it's cool that we're going live. And we're getting used to everything. Normally we shoot it, edit it, then post it. Other than the great live last week, and so this week, we had to learn some more tricks of the trade. All right. So now let me go back to here.
We claim to be warriors, not necessarily technical,
Exactly.
savvy.
Although we should know the technical stuff too.
We try. We'll get there.
We'll get there. You all can see that Ominique hasn't made it yet, but she's on her way too.
Yes, she is.
So she'll be with us in just a second. So in dealing with Batter Up, the way this came about, Kalanji Jamachanga, had posted in this page that, thanks Baba Gone for the training. He posted a picture of this guy who had murdered folks, several people, right? Then I looked into it. He said, thanks, and I looked at it and said, well, I thank my father and Ogun for allowing me to be trained, because anything can jump off at any time. Then I began to look into the person that he posted, the murderer that he posted, alleged murderer, until his court case is done. But we know the business with that one. And his story is a very strange story, but he used a baseball bat to take several people off this planet and to injure others too. So since he used a baseball bat, I said, well, it's the perfect time now to teach people how to use the baseball bat and how to defend yourself against it. Okay? We believe in teaching you how to use it first, so you have an understanding of that tool, and so you have a better understanding of how to defend yourself, not just walking around imagining and pretending you can defend yourself, because you'll understand just how devastating that particular tool can be. And a baseball bat can be devastating. So you want to be able to defend yourself intelligently, effectively, not these mythological defenses that cats are saying out here, because they really don't understand how to use the bat as a effective tool. Okay? Just swinging the bat can be devastating, but knowing how to use it is more devastating. So we're going to look at the story about what went on first. So first we'll be looking at the news story. Let me get now to it.
Briefly, if you don't know what we're talking about, we're gonna get in detailed in the story. But yeah, briefly, what happened is this guy in Florida basically got mad at his supervisor, left work, and came back.
Yeah,
we're gonna get the details now about exactly how it went down.
So I got it. Each of us.
Yeah, we're gonna read it.
So 39-year-old Sean Paul Runyon is the alleged murderer in triple homicide that occurred last Saturday while we were doing our live, Warrior Class Live, the first live, last Saturday in Davenport, Florida. Okay. Now Runyon was from Philadelphia, but he had come down to Davenport, Florida to work. He's an electrician, right? He confessed that he had a pre-designed plan to viciously murder the 3 victims. He's charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of aggravated battery, according to the sheriff's office. Okay. The attack was at a home in Davenport where Runyon and the victims all lived. The company was renting the place. They were co-workers, and the company they worked for rented the house with them. And that commonly happens.
Yeah, I know a few people that do cable work and different things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
And they'll pay for their rent.
Yeah.
Not always a hotel. Sometimes they'll rent a house. Everybody stay in there.
Yeah.
And the attack left 3 people dead, 1 person injured, and other folks probably mentally traumatized. Not probably. The 3 others, including a 7-year-old child, they escaped the attack unharmed, physically. Okay.
Right.
The 3 men who were killed are Kevin Lanuse, who's 41, from Pennsylvania. He's also from Pennsylvania. Dew Donnell, that's a brother, from Maryland. He's 46, and Gregory Dolezal, 44, from Ohio. Kevin and Gregory were white dudes. Doolin was black. That's important to know because they can't get a hate crime. It was only 1 black person, so it wasn't hate crime that motivated him.
Right.
And this is to know. Person can just go off, stay chiseled, because you'll see. You'll be wondering, well, what was his motivation? Well, why did he do this? And you don't know what's going on in people's head. So just pay attention to it. Runyon was in Polk County, Florida, working on a job at a Lakeland Publix. Publix is for those who don't know, is a large grocery store chain. Okay. Their groceries are considered higher end, if you will, than say a regular grocery store chain. I don't know if it's really higher end.
It's higher price.
It's higher price.
But
Exactly.
they have really good sales.
I don't go there. That's all I can tell you. I don't go there.
So they were on a job at Lakeland Publix for a Pennsylvania-based electrical company. So Lakeland is in Florida, but they had hired a Pennsylvania-based electrical company owned by the alleged murderer's half-brother.
And again, that happens all the time. In cable, it's cable based out here that's doing work all in Alabama and Savannah and different areas.
Because these companies going to go with a better price.
Street services do the same thing. They go all around where the work is at. So anyway, how do you say that guy name?
Runyon.
Kevin. No, not Runyon, but Kevin, his supervisor.
Lanuse.
Okay. So Runyon had been in a fight with his supervisor, Kevin Lanuse, earlier Friday morning as the electricians worked overnight on the job. Lanuse told Runyon he was not working fast enough, and Runyon hit the supervisor and then fled the site in a work truck. All right, so Runyon's half-brother told Runyon to just come home. At that point, Runyon drove up Interstate 75 before arriving in Cordell, Georgia, more than 300 miles from Polk County. So Polk is 300 miles from Polk County, meaning
Florida. So
okay.
he drove north.
Right. Okay.
But he 300 miles north.
Right.
But then he said, "F that."
So it's instead of having time to calm down from his rage, this whole drive, he drove 300 miles, so roughly 3 hours. Instead of having time, if you fly, it's probably about 3.5. So
he had about 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah.
Still.
So instead of having time to calm down from the rage when Lanuse chastised him, it only got worse over the next 24 hours. Runyon purchased a crossbow at an outdoor sports store, then drove back to Florida. He then drove to Tampa International Airport, parked the work truck, and rented a vehicle from Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
So then I'll let you know. So
that's now we can calculate.
He don't want it right, because he don't want when he does what he got to do. He don't want to be seen in a work truck
that's
and
too easy to
identify him right.
The name on the work truck, that's too easy
Right.
to spot. So he then got calculated now.
Right.
So this is premeditated. That's when you get into more charges here. So next he purchased a baseball bat from the Tampa area Target and drove back towards Polk County. He slept in the Walmart parking lot near the home where he attacked. He knew they would be vulnerable because he know the work, he know the schedule.
Also, he bought the crossbow from one place, and then he brought the baseball bat from somewhere else. He knows what he's doing too.
Yeah, we need to find out his background.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so he knew they would be vulnerable. He knew they would be asleep. He knew he could take them out without opposition because they would be sleeping. And that's what he did. He didn't use the crossbow. Maybe he was planning to use that on the other victims, but armed with the bat and a knife he already had in his pocket, Runyon entered the home through the back door. He headed to a downstairs bedroom where he attacked Lanuse with the bat, striking him in the face multiple times. And he just basically said when they asked him, he said he just kept hitting him in the face until he thought he was dead, which he wasn't dead. He wasn't conscious
Not
anymore.
yet.
Yeah, he died in the hospital later on, but he was never conscious again.
I read another report that hit him so many times in the face that he had flattened his face almost like to the size of a pancake. So it's amazing he was still alive.
Wow. His resilience of the spirit. So Runyon then headed upstairs and beat the brother-in-law, right?
No, the brother.
Oh, his brother.
Right, no, the black man. That's what the brother do.
Well, when
he
he
called
said the
him-
brother, they ain't saying the black man though, is it?
No, that's it. Do.
When they say beat the brother, dude.
Right. He beat the brother do.
You wrote that.
I wrote that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you said the brother. Okay. I thought this was coming from the article.
It come from the news.
Right,
It come from the news. I said the brother.
I'm like,
Right.
the news he was saying the brother.
No, I had to say the
He can say
brother.
the brother. Okay.
And the reason why I had to say the brother is because a lot of times people say, that was just them white folks. No, it wasn't just white folks. And also, anytime it's an attack, I don't look at the young. I just say that had to be white folks doing that you never know really now.
No,
but you can't be worried about that because that shit can visit you.
And this showing because the brother, he was just working with him. He ain't the
Right,
supervisor.
the brother hadn't done nothing to him as far as is known. But we'll get to that.
We
need to get to that in a minute.
Okay, so Runyon then headed upstairs to beat the brother dude with the bat repeatedly in the head, killing him. Which that happened on immediately. He didn't make it at all.
Right.
After that, Runyon went to the bedroom of Greg Dolezal and attempted to use the bat to beat him, but Greg fought back, so he fatally stabbed him again and again. Yeah, so they talked about it too. Another victim.
He actually ran. He made it out. He ran out, tried to get out of there, and he collapsed on the front porch and died.
Right. So another victim who survived tried to run from the house. Runyon broke his shoulder with the bat.
He hit him in the back.
Right. He turned and ran. He wasn't asleep after all the commotion, and so he didn't really get a good lick off on him.
He did a good lick. He broke his shoulder, but not a killing blow.
Right.
And then he just decided, I ain't got time.
Might have been a good idea.
Right. Well, yeah.
You ain't got no bat and no gun and nothing.
Lunusay was actually still alive, even though his face was destroyed and his head was crushed, but he died from his injuries at the hospital. Runyon fled the scene and went to the home of a family in Lake Wales. He was covered in the blood of his victims and claimed he had been raped by 3 men. The family told him to go to the hospital, which he did, and that's where deputies arrested him. He had no injuries, and tests proved that he had not been raped.
Now that's when it got crazy. He go to a family, and he knew them in passing because the family worked in Publix,
right?
And the guy wanted him to work on his house or whatever.
Strange.
And so he knew where they lived. He goes there, covered in the blood of his victims. I was raped, and they like, okay, well, you need to go to the hospital. Like we can't do much way, And so, and for some reason, the fool goes to the hospital, and that's where they got him.
He was touched in the head.
Yeah. First of all, if he thought I go to this family and say I was raped, that will give me an alibi. You were raped, but you don't go to the authorities, which I would go to the authorities, but you go and murder a bunch of folks and then hit the other dude. What did that dude have to do with it, number one, if that was the case? But I guess he was going to try to say those 3 dudes raped him, and that's why he murdered them. So they raped you on the job because you weren't, working fast enough.
He thought of everything except he should have raped himself. Maybe that if he did that.
Well, it's hard to do that because it'll show that the damage you did the damage to yourself. That can be determined. Mm-hmm. But could have paid a dude to rape him. He wasn't willing to go that far.
I guess not. He did all that.
Right.
He wasn't sure like that.
Right. I mean, damn. I don't know too many people that are, but you say was, hey dude, here's $300, here's $5, rape me. I ain't rape me, just hit it. And then he said he was torn up.
$300 to $5.
Huh?
He said he was $300. He was $5.
No, not $5. He paid a dude $300. I said if he did that, pay the dude $300 to rape.
Okay.
And then, to have sex with him. Then he go and say he was raped. That may work. That may have worked.
Yeah, if he did that, at least he'd have got further. He'd have got
right. They'd have still been investigating right now.
Yeah, he wouldn't did all that.
What he paid the dude do it, then he killed the dude. I don't want to go too far in that because I ain't even gonna cover myself up like this. But he killed the dude, bury him somewhere, and now they looking for his rapist.
At least that's a good move. So we'll look at you.
He would still be locked up though, Why they looking? Because he still murdered those people. But instead of first degree murder, it had then been.
I'm just thinking because he was smart enough to.
Well, because he was saying, can they rape me? Then they got to second degree murder. Then
Maybe he would have been hospitalized too. He might have tried to use that.
while he was hospitalized, he may have tried to escape. Too.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was going to go for. That's why I said it made sense that he went to these people's house.
But see,
and set out
he would have got away with it if he had just
off.
left, because they lost the trail of him. The police
right,
were looking for him.
no. So he's a mixture. Maybe he in and out. Because he was smart for a second and then just went crazy.
Well, I
think
he's intelligent, but he's nuts.
Yeah, he was intelligent, but after the murder,
it right. Exactly.
That's what happened. Okay, yeah.
So he probably had hurt people before, but he probably hadn't murdered nobody, and that affected him. So he's not.
That makes
clear.
sense. That makes sense.
He
That's why
went to the family. They reassured him and all that stuff.
Right, but they the ones who called the police. Told him we sent him to the hospital.
Oh, get out.
So these folks. Somebody just did this and evil probably has killed other people. They need to dig up his yard. He may have now. He hasn't probably done that kind of murder. He may have murdered before. He was wanted in Pennsylvania, and his brother had him working for him. His brother-in-law. I mean, not brother-in-law, half brother. I mean, shit. My brother did a crime.
Yeah.
I ain't like I'm telling on him. And he could be right. He could be working for me if I got an opportunity for him. Now, he was wanted there for child endangerment, and I can tell you exactly what he did. I can figure out based on what he did. Child endangerment, strangulation, and simple battery, domestic violence. He probably choked his baby's mama.
Oh yeah. We left out the drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
he was definitely coked up during all this.
Well, yeah. They found cocaine and heroin in the system.
Cocaine? Was it cocaine and heroin?
It was cocaine and marijuana.
Yeah.
Cocaine and marijuana. Yeah. He ain't gonna do that's speedball and he'll be jacked up. Yeah, he did cocaine and marijuana, right?
Yeah.
That was probably so the marijuana to calm him enough to do it probably, and then the cocaine enough to hype him up to actually do it.
That's what you do.
So you calm, but you hype. And that's what Mud did. He may have smoked the primo. We call them primos growing up. That's marijuana laced with cocaine.
Tecal.
Yeah, Tecal. But with those who know Method Man, the rapper, he calls him Method Cal because of that.
Yeah, if y'all didn't know that, that's what Tecal means. It means lace it backwards.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly.
That's what he was doing.
Right.
Spells, baby, spells. But anyway, that's a whole nother.
So, a baseball bat did most of the damage there. The only reason he stabbed Greg Dolezal is because Greg woke up and started fighting. He heard all that commotion. He started fighting back. So he was hitting him with the bat at first. Right. Greg fighting. He drops the bat and just pulls the knife and shanks him up. Okay. We have to, what we say is state chisel. It means you're ready for whatever. And to be ready for that thing, you have to be familiarized with that thing. So we're going to today work with bats. Now, if you're asleep, one thing is avoidance is the highest level of martial arts, the highest level of self-protection. You have to make sure people are not just coming in your room, able to come in your room like that. Lock your doors when you sleep. Some of us don't want to. We may have a child in another room, but I've always locked the door in me and my wife's room. My children know that their doors should be locked. We have a specific knock for them to open, know to open. Which I won't share here. You create your own knock or your own code words or whatever, so they know to open the door. Also work drills. Somebody comes in the house, they wake up. Know what room to go to. That's your safe room. Have that set up. Always have a plan. Because like Runyon did, he had a plan. He had a plan for murdering those folks. Successful. And he was successful. If he executed that plan successfully. If your enemy has a plan, you best have one, or automatically you lose it. Okay. Bells on time, the doors, windows, that's good. Another thing that you can do outside of your house, whatever door you want them to come in. You say, what? Just rock with me for a second. You well light the doors you don't want them to come in. So if you want them to come in your front door, because you have things in place to secure your home, either the bells and chimes, you have a piece of wood that you keep in the closet all day, but at night, this piece of wood with nails nailed through it, and so they're sticking up. You lay that in front of your door, a few feet back. So when they open up and they run in, they step on that. You can have that at the door you want them to hit. So you have the front door, no light. That's where people feel safe is at. But running went in the back door because that is where people can't see him coming in, can't hear him coming in. That should have been the door that had the safety measures on there. Okay. You have a dog, you can have them at the door where you want them to come in. They come in and that dog tears them up. Not little poodle, but dog. We have a German Shepherd. Okay. German Shepherd is known as having one of the most terrible bites of any dog.
Now you can, if you want a small dog, it's not a bad thing to have for your home, but it ain't
for your alarm.
It's exactly. It's not for, as long as you understand that's not for protection. You need using that as an alarm.
Right.
Small dogs are good for alarms because big dogs, a lot of times, they're not going to make no noise because they want the intruder to come in. They want action.
But they have to be trained. The dog has to be trained, not just bark all the time. Some dogs bark all the time. So our dog was a barker. She has a trainer. We paid for a trainer. It was worth it if you can afford that, because my goodness, they know our dog. Now it's a whole different dog. Now we walk her heel. She walking heel. Look, watch. She's looking at us the whole time. She wasn't that same dog when they kept her.
No, man.
She was not that same dog. She's not barking. The only time she's barking when she got to go to the bathroom, or if somebody comes up that driveway. And even now she knows the difference. Like if somebody comes to the driveway at between 12 and 3 o'clock, that's Uber. I order me something to eat. Me and Amy or whatever, my wife's at her shop, right? She's not barking. Now she used to just be going off.
She got a routine.
Somebody come up that driveway 6 in the morning, 9 o'clock, that kind of stuff, because Yalagoon came home late once and she, hold on. I said, look. I said, oh. I said, that's grandma. And then she stops because it's really our daughter's dog called her mama with grandma and grandpa, and she knows it as that. She stopped. Okay. So that's what training, if you're going to have a dog, make sure it's trained. You don't just want it barking, then shut up, dog. Tell them to shut up. You upstairs, somebody in your house. They give that dog some treats or something because it's an untrained dog.
Right,
it's just,
not, yeah.
Then they come up and it's just eating the treats while they coming up to kill you. No. You want that dog trained so they throw treats. It tear that person up, then it eat the treats. Okay. It tore them up. You hear that person screaming, now you come downstairs and you do what it is you got to do. So we're going to work with bats today. Any other news? Anything? Oh, and bats, so you know, kill close to 400 people a year in the United States. I don't know how many in the world, probably much more. You got places like the UK that really aren't gun heavy like the United States. In the United States, of course, firearms are the number one killers, period.
I wonder how many people they injure. Probably.
Oh my God. But murders are close. It was like 387 or something like that. Wow. Okay. Hammers are the number one killers of men in domestic violence situations where a woman is defending herself. Women go to work with that hammer.
It tells you how.
And I was talking to my wife. She said, that makes sense because that's the force multiplier. That's a hell of a force multiplier. You know what I mean? And that's used more than a bat by women because the bat is heavier. Okay.
And longer too.
And longer. And that's, I'll make this point on the bat structure. Can you hand me one of those bats, please?
Yes, sir. Sure can.
The bat structure makes it, if you don't know how to use it, it's not the best for in home because it's long. If you're going through hallways trying to defend yourself and you're swinging it, and you like a regular baseball player or something, you're going to be hitting the walls. Okay. So it's not great if you're swinging it that way. Today I'm going to teach you how to use this thing where you can actually move through halls and things if you needed to. And then when you get the room to get that swing off with both hands. Structure of a bat, so you know. And we got different size bats today. Got the knob, got the grip or handle. You got the taper where it begins to get wider. And you got the most dangerous part, the barrel. That wide part, that's the barrel. Okay. The barrel. I'm trying to move it, so I'm not advertising these folks. Mm-hmm. They ain't paying us that either. Mm-hmm. But you got the barrel, you got the end cap. Some will be dented in, they don't have an end cap. That you'll see an indentation there, like a crater, right? So end cap, barrel, that's the part that really, that's where all that power comes in at. The taper, where it starts to get wider. And that's from here to here. The grip, also called the handle, and the knob. Okay. All of those are used to do damage with this tool. This tool here, if you're going to carry it in your car, depending on your state, we're in Georgia. Georgia is real light with its who's carrying what. So as long as if you're licensed to carry, say, if you're not licensed to carry, you can carry around bat, stick, what have you. Shoot. You can carry around bat, stick, what have you, knife. If you can be licensed, you're not a felon, no. You can carry a pistol, anybody. You don't have to have a license to carry a pistol. You can carry a pistol as long as you can legally carry a pistol, which is damn near anybody unless you are a felon. And I'm not sure, but I think some felonies committed, you can actually apply and get a
expunge.
Right, get it expunged and carry that pistol or revolver or shotgun or rifle, right? That's state of Georgia. But if you want to carry concealed, which anybody can carry concealed as long, once again, you can legally do that. You can get a concealed carry license, walking around carrying a pistol. Where I'm from, in Illinois, it's strict. And then the city I'm from, Chicago, is stricter. So in Illinois, you cannot walk around. If you are a cop, you can walk around with a pistol. If you're security, you can have a gun in your car, but it has to be separate from your ammunition. The ammunition has to be in a separate, not even, so if I got the pistol or revolver in my glove compartment, the ammo can't be in there. It's got to be in the trunk or something. Chicago is real strict. Illinois is strict. Chicago is real strict. Chicago, if you shoot somebody with your pistol, shotgun, whatever, you better catch them before they fall out that door, because if they fall out that door, you can go to jail, because now you're not protecting your home. Whereas in Georgia, somebody breaking in your car, you can shoot. So a lot of times you hear us talk about certain things. We live here in Georgia. So know your laws. Because some places, they don't even allow this. You know. In the UK, it's real. I think anywhere in the United States is fine, but like in the UK, certain things you can't have. UK, you can have a bat, but you also have to have a ball and glove with it.
Wow.
And I would just a good rule of thumb.
And that you should have that anyway.
So another thing.
Because none of us trust the police now.
Right. So if you can have it, why not have it? You know what I'm saying? So if you can get you a bat, get you one. And one thing,
hammer,
right? Why not have these with you and train with them? One thing I want to point out too is that the different ones for different sizes. So there's the weight and length is what they go by. And softball is going to be lighter than regular baseball.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's actually a softball right there. Well, that's not softball.
That's not softball. This is baseball. This is
going to be the softball.
So this is 19 ounces, 28 inches, 19 ounces. This is 30 inches, 21 ounces, but it really feels lighter than this because it's the structure.
It feels way lighter and it's bigger. It's longer.
It's longer. That's a softball bat. It's thinner. The barrel part is thinner. And easier to wield. We're about to get into it technically. Wield with two hands, not one hand. You'll see people wielding with one hand. That's a stronger person. Somebody my size, I can wield this, and because of my experience, I can wield this with one hand. Still not as powerful as two hands. Somebody on Nikki's size may not want to be wielding this with one hand.
I actually get T-ball bats.
And that could work too. So T-ball bat is even lighter.
And they're shorter.
Right.
Or they're shorter.
This here,
it's my personal favorite
baseball bat. The Louisville Slugger, that's the most famous of them right there. Okay. But really, it's a little shorter than the softball bat, but it's got more weight to it. Even though it's wood, if this was metal, this would be heavy as hell. Okay. It's the type of wood made. People say, well, you got to be careful your bat break. If I hit you in your head, or I hit you, and I'm not going to hit you in your head's not the first place I'm going to try to hit you at. We're about to deal with that. But I hit you in your rib cage. I hit you in your arm with this. Before this breaks, your arm.
Really?
Yeah. And probably before this breaks your head. You see, the Runyon murdered those people, hit them several times in their face, which is part of their head.
Right.
It was several people in just one bat, right?
Right, one bat.
You're thinking about baseball games when I'm swinging 100 miles per hour at a ball coming at 80 miles per hour or 90 miles per hour. Yeah, that kind of contact, you're going to break this bat, but upside your head, And I've seen a few bats go upside a few heads. I ain't seen the bat break.
I've never seen it right.
I've never seen the bat break.
Now, dude broke my hand with the bat. I'm trying to be, I had just left from, and I'm going to abridge this story for certain reasons, but I had just left from the Million Man March. A boy run, my daddy beat my mama with a phone. Yeah, beat her down with a phone and the 2-year-old child with the phone. This boy's about 15, 16. He runs to get help. I go to help. Aha! It's the Million Man March, and I'm feeling like one of the millionaires. Now, I would help now, even, to be honest, but I'd be smarter now. I wouldn't handle it this way. So I go to the brother. I said, brother, come on, man. Why are you doing this? He said, I'm going to bust your head. He got a bat. He said, I'm going to bust your head. I said, brother, you don't want to bust my head. He said, oh, I'm going to bust your head. Now, there's a difference between a threat and an intimidation. And intimidation has conditions. I'm going to bust your head if you don't get the fuck away from me. That's a condition. I get away from him.
Right.
Because he really don't want to bust my head. He just wants me to get away from him. He didn't give me no condition. He said, I'm going to bust your head. And he's smiling.
Right.
Part of me being arrogant and young, I wasn't intimidated. Me saying, brother, you don't want to bust my head is twofold. You don't want to bust my head because you're a brother. You don't want to bust my head because you try. I'm going to eat you up. Well, he proved to me he wanted to bust my head. He said, I'm going to bust your head. I said, brother. Whoa! He comes at me. Luckily, I'm trained. I cover. And when I cover, I move in, but not enough because I was so shocked that he really did it. Because the key is to move in on the bat, not away. We'll get to that in just a second. I move in, but not enough. And he catches me. If my hand hadn't been up, he would have broke my shit. But really, I'd have been better off if I stayed back. I'd have caught it here. It would have broke my arm probably. But when I moved, it caught me here on my hand and it shattered my hand. It's like, whoo. Somebody said, what hasn't bothered when broken? This is wild. Yes, I've been cut several times. My students know because they can see it. Several times in the military, I've been cut in encounters with a knife, fighting in the trench. I got my hand broken by this guy. It broke all the bones across there. And then, now I'm emotional, not thinking. You mother, boom, hit him with the broke hand. He went down, I went down, because that hurt so bad, my hand just moving off. I fell down, he down. We both down. Ambulance took us both to the hospital. Okay. Luckily, I know what I'm doing, because if I hadn't been able to drop him, he probably would just beat me to death with that bat.
Yeah, the average.
That is no goddamn joke.
Big Till.
Yeah, peace, Big Till, Carpe Diem.
Greetings, peace.
Peace, Kalani, peace, y'all. So,
yeah, this really
really live, apprentice.
Live.
Yes. So just know that how devastating this can be. And one big thing is the flinch response. Oh, like that, without moving those feet, that get you killed. Because once he breaks that hand, if your training that isn't strong,
we talked about that before.
And then he hits you again in the head. Because now, even my thought, I'd be hit. I moved in, so he couldn't swing on me again. But foolishly punched with my broken hand, and that sent me down. But thank God I had enough in that hand to be able to put him down too. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. He'd have beaten me to death. He beat his wife into unconsciousness with a telephone and his 2-year-old baby. So that was dangerous as shit. I should have been like, hey, brother,
Chicago,
go get, I said, go get Rufus down the street. Some shit. My back hurting. I could do that to him. But I'm like, damn, I almost died. And I don't want to say like this. I almost died trying to help, because you should help if you can, but help wisely and don't help by your damn self. And he got a bat. He got a bat. Back in those days, I had one whack firearm. I should have got that whack ass firearm and be like, sir, please put that bat down, sir. You ain't the police. Boom, I am now. Go ahead and get. But the boy didn't want me to shoot his dad. He wanted me to stop his daddy. That wouldn't have been really helping. You know what I mean? I would have been hurt, but that wouldn't have helped the situation. I still didn't help the situation, to be honest. I went to the hospital. He was in the hospital. I guess he couldn't beat nobody else. Right. And then they had to go in and get his mama and the baby out and take them to the hospital. It was a terrible scene.
Right.
But yes, that's Chicago in the 90s. Chicago in the 90s was rough. And that's the west side of Chicago, the worst part. But those who talk about Cabrini Green is the worst, you can watch too much Candyman. If you think the south side is the worst, no. The show Bad Boy Cops, them bastards film everywhere. They didn't film in Chicago at all. But I know some cats, I used to, my major was film, who were asking them to come to the west side to film, but they wanted to be on the show and stuff. They said, we ain't filming, we're not coming to Chicago. We're not coming to Chicago, period. But I'm telling you, the west side, I ain't saying it because I'm just there. I met people here at a business thing with my wife. They're from Chicago. I said, oh, you're from Chicago. First thing we do at Chicago, I said, what side you from? I said, what side you from? They said, south side. They said, what side you from? It was like 3, 4 of them. I said, the west side. They all took steps back.
We're going to make a movie on what's
coming. Because they're like, oh, shit. My boy brought his girlfriend over. He's from the south side. I had a lot of friends from the south side. He brought his girlfriend over. She in the car. Like, they got in the car, let me introduce you. No. Now, that was extreme. No, she wouldn't get out of the car. He broke up with her because of the way he was just so embarrassed. Yeah, she was shook.
Quick question: is it the GDs that's over there on the west side of Chicago?
GDs and Vice Lords and Four Corner Hustlers on.
So GDs have that folk sign that you doing, right? It's like 4
6-sided. So GD's a six-sided star, and the fork is their symbol. Fork up. So fork down is Vice Lords, because that's.
I'm saying that because my homeboy Odell, piece of Odell that he watches too. Odell was telling me he was hosting this real fancy event. And he was like, "How everybody doing it? Everybody dressed all, nice and everything." He's like, "How y'all doing it? I see you, all the pretty ladies up front." He said the lady up front that was dressed all nice, she threw these forks, so he knew what it meant because his homeboy is from the West Side of Chicago. He's like, "Oh my goodness, you look so nice though." And she's like, "Forks up, throwing us up." Boy, you West Side Chicago.
That's how it is,
It's life, dude.
But I'm gonna tell you, those same people. I was never in the gang, never had to be, because I've got big, high-ranking folks in the, and I'll just say that, high-ranking folks in the Vice Lords. So, and I'm from a Vice Lord neighborhood. So I never had to be in the Vice Lord, and it's not like California where they heavy recruit anyway. You got to be family. You got to be, somebody's boy. Something not just say, "Hey, I want to be a Vice Lord." They'd be like, "Get your ass out of here, police." That's not going to work. But for me, I remember coming home one day and I didn't have my backpack with me. They would quickly start, hey professor, they call me, "Hey professor, where your books at?" I said, "I left them in school, I didn't have to have them today." "All right, professor, have them books tomorrow." "All right, okay." Next day I had the books. I'll be out doing stuff. "Professor, why you out here doing so-and-so? Getting in the mission." "Professor, you better get your ass in there and read them comic books, read them books, and stay away from this fool right here." That's the way it was. Dude be messing with me. "Hey man, so-and-so, so-and-so." This dude, I remember one time he was trying to pump me, but being, smiling with it. I'm like, "Dude, you can go ahead." He said, "What?" So he's getting pissed because it's not working. And then you see this up the block. This dude OC come riding up the block. Vice Lord rise up. He said, "Hey," to the other dude, "Leave him." "I wasn't gonna do nothing to him." He said, "Yes, you would, nigga. Leave him." Dude leaves. Then OC rise off. Because I was trying, partly because my family was there, but mainly because I was doing something. Cousin of mine come from Mississippi, wanting to be, "I want to be down, so-and-so, so-and-so." My cousin whooped his ass and sent him back to Mississippi. Like, "Boy, this ain't the life for you." And sent him back to Mississippi. So you got people who had honor, who, I don't know if you would call it honor. They were good people. They just were in that life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I would say honor as far as with the people that they cared about.
Yeah,
You know what I
they
mean?
had a code.
Right.
They had more of a code than people out here that ain't in that.
That's shit.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Who the hell? Police would have seen me out there and would have just beat the shit out of me.
There you go.
Or murdered me. You know what I mean? So that ain't the people that you rely on.
Right.
But those gang members, they were not playing. I had to make sure my ass was doing right in school. And they were going to make sure that, you know what I mean? So, and I'm also not just saying it because my family's involved in that life either. All right, so we're about to get to technique. We're going to switch over to this camera. Let us know that you can hear us. So we're about to switch to Warrior Cam. The camera over here. Okay? And I'm going to expand that camera. Let's see here. Can you all still hear us?
You good over here? Can y'all hear me?
Can you all hear us?
Let me know if you can hear me.
I'm not seeing anybody responding. Can you all hear us?
Yeah.
Yes, good, excellent.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much. We're about to get to it.
It's one of those tools that you can keep in
Thank you all for responding.
In any room, you can put this. It goes right nice behind the door. Nobody ever pays it any attention. I got a few of them. Matter of fact, these are mine. So it's always good. It's always good. I just like, I'm not a bat collector or anything. Just through the years, just end up with a few bats. So put mine down for a second. You're gonna focus on Bob first, Cody.
Yeah, we're gonna do some work on Cody Whiteman today.
Okay.
So once again, structure of the bat, the knob, the grip or the handle, the taper, the barrel. If I'm trying to hit him with a bat, the most danger is here in the barrel. Particularly these first 3-4 inches. There's a lot of power in that, okay? The key is to come in on me if I'm swinging. He comes in. If he gets hit in the arm with the taper, that's not comfortable. It hurts. It's not going to break his arm. But if he doesn't move in, he's scared and gets hit with a barrel, that's going to shatter his arm more than likely. Okay? And if not shattered, it's going to deaden that arm at best. Okay? So you move in on the bat, get as close as possible, and you want to keep him close. We're about to deal with how to use this first, and then we'll get into how to defend yourself against bat strikes. Defending yourself against a bat, how can I say this? Don't be afraid of defending yourself against anything, because to not defend yourself is worse.
Exactly.
This is not an easy thing, but it's something you have to defend yourself. You have to step to it. That's the number one thing. But disarming them and all of that, it's not going to be easy for you. You're watching videos that say you step in and you wriggle. It's not just going to be that easy to pull out somebody's hand. Come on, man. But you best step in and turn that shit into a wrestling match.
Yeah, it's your best bet.
Turn it into a boxing match, not going to work with you. They're going to win. Unless they just are trying to swing like that, which we're about to get to. Can we bring Cody on? You going to turn?
Yeah.
So, Cody Whiteman is right there. Yeah, there we go. Cody Whiteman, when you swing with this bat, the number one swing is what we call an angle 2. It's that downward diagonal strike. We would say downward diagonal with your palm towards you. But with the bat, it's a little bit different the way it's structured. The way you hold the bat, of course, your non-dominant hand holds right against the knob. Your other hand holds down by it when you're striking normally. The way we strike is we hold it in here. This allows us to be able to move through hallways and things. I can strike shorter right there if I had to. And then the ending strike, I slide to my other hand. That gives it a lot more power when I strike. So I can hit Cody from up close. I'm walking down the hall. He comes around the landing. Oh, snap. Boom. I hit him. That's without the slide. It's a lot of power. Okay. That number 2 strike going down. That can also be to his hand. It can be to his hand. It can be to his knee. Okay, the wind has one name. This affects all angles. That same angle, it affects different levels. It could be to his ribs. Okay. If I have distance, I'm outside. I'm in the living room, and there's not a lot of furniture around. I got distance to slide to my other hand. That's a lot there. That is a lot. Okay? That's it. And this is weighted. there's a lot of weight and I'm still rocking them and I'm not stepping into it a lot, that would do a lot of damage. That's the number one strike.
Are they able to see the slide?
Huh?
Are they able to see
So when I slide, I'm going from here, sliding down, and swinging. That slide gives me extra power. Okay? A lot of power there. Okay? To the arm, he has a tool in his hand. I attack that arm. Okay? I attack his arm. Number one place, neck, jawline. Attacking to the head, still it's gonna tear him up. Okay. Right behind his ear, I usually try to hit the neck to the jawline. That's to the side of his head right there.
I don't know if y'all realize how, because it's on that right there, how devastating that is. But let me just say, when y'all see me with the glove up like this, and Bob will hit me with a smack, when he just smacking you like that right there, I feel like it's about to knock my ass out. You can't imagine what that feels like. You can't even, and nobody does because they go out.
And that's why, right? That's why we're not practicing this on ourselves, because we be out the person.
It ain't gonna last long enough.
The next, so they all come from your strong side. Belay is a lefty, so it would be his non-dominant hand down here, his dominant hand up here, and it would slide. It still would be that, it's that same downward angle would be for B. That's the number one. Number two is that horizontal coming from your strong side. That, ugly. That's the horizontal. That hits usually the face, the head, knock this hat off, or to the rib cage. Ooh. Or the rib cage. Okay? That's usually not the leg. So it's downward, it's horizontal, so it's diagonal, horizontal, and then the last is up horizontal. That's usually into the rib cage, up, or to the thigh or to the knee. Up. Okay. Those are the common ones. Also, that thrust with the end cap. Thrust with the end cap, or thrust with the knob. It's like plastic coming up. Thrust. They won't come on. Thrust with the knob. That's the other. Thrust with the knob. So what we're going to do right now is work on those strikes. Now these, that's the backhand that also diagonal to the ribs on the backhand side, up to the thigh. Okay. They're going to work on the strikes on here. Work on the single, diagonal, horizontal, diagonal down, horizontal, diagonal up. Who's going to be first? Ladder up. And if you have something to hit, you can hit mattress, you can hit a heavy bag, different things. Ready? At your leisure.
Slide with it.
Now that what she did there was that straight down. That's another hit. The straight down.
Oh, excuse me. I'm not sliding successfully.
So with that one, don't really slide up like a 6 there. It 6 in there. You're meeting it with that last, yes. Drive into it more. Yep, just like that. Yep.
I wonder what you guys
I wonder would you guys interview my Kyokushin sensei? We'll talk about that in a minute. Well, we'll talk about that later. Yes, give us this information or her information. So Belay's coming from the left. Now that's the backhand for him.
That's when the feel one time. I don't feel it strong enough. It ain't like that though.
Right. So remember to slide from the middle. Now, say they're in close and you can't get the slide, just using your hip. Okay, your hip plus that hip, horizontal. Okay, coming up onto the leg, coming up. That's without the slide. With the slide, a lot more power.
And you're just hitting right in that barrel area.
Right in the barrel. You can hit, if I hit down to the barrel here, still strong. If I hit the taper, it's not as strong. You can hit the difference between that, and that. But it still hurt now. So you move in, you're trying to press your body against their body. You don't really want any of this to touch you. But definitely, the barrel is going to destroy something if you let yourself be hit with that. Okay. All right. So that is the first part. Second, combination striking. So if you have something to strike on, strike. Do not strike your little brother or sister or your child. Use a bag, or I would say don't use a tree. You can. That's going to be a lot of, use gloves if you do. That's going to be a lot of force on your hands. So the next up is combination. To the neck, and you come around to the other side of the neck. I'm doing that without the slide first. Okay, now with the slide, and then, okay, so you don't have to be slow. Neck, ribs. That's the other one. Neck, ribs. Okay, neck, ribs. Leg, ribs. Or ribs, leg. Or legs, legs. The table's right there. I want to hit it. Okay? So go ahead and use a combination. Just 2 hits.
Right.
Whatever you want to hit.
Try without the slide one. So.
Get them legs.
I want to hit the desk.
Good.
I want to hit them one more time. Triple it up.
Hey, you can triple.
That's okay.
Good. Good.
Just doing that in the skirt. Shit.
Good. Good. Why not? Good.
So if you did it, they'd be falling over.
And then the neck. Yep.
Yeah, neck.
I feel like too that for me, like this right here, this is a good.
Right.
There's a real good because it's a smaller area. You really fold them over that right there. Or come on over there.
Or that same angle instead of here. Yeah. Up in there. To the tank.
Nasty,
To the tank.
nasty.
And the tank don't feel good either.
That's a nice double up too. Because you know they're gonna fold under here, so there's poop, poop.
Exactly. Okay?
Up in that sternum.
Big tail.
So, all right. So now, the last part is in African martial arts, we redirect our attacks to misdirect our intention to our opponent to be deceptive.
You give this?
Deceptive. Yeah, we're gonna give you
Okay.
that. So,
I know this giving y'all this.
Wow.
so from here, there's certain things I won't say on it. I don't want to scare people.
Y'all family now. Y'all like family now.
So, I'm gonna take this off. It's getting to me. I give you some saran wrap or something. So now, to redirect, we won't do a lot. We do simple. A simple redirection. It's like I'm coming with the 2, but instead.
But would you mind for you show them on me?
Yes.
Without actually doing, so they can feel how it's
I
going.
thought you want me to actually do it.
Not that yeah, but just so they can feel how it's gonna be coming. Because the regular kind, if you regular, just so they can see it. So you're gonna expect that. You're gonna expect that. That's what you're looking for.
But this way, he's coming in. I'm redirecting. He was getting ready for that. I redirect to his knee. Or he's getting ready. I come around to that side.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
Okay.
You gotta be aware.
So we'll start simple from the most common attack, which is that 2 angle, that downward diagonal, to the neck or head, and then we'll change. Okay? I went here. You think it's coming there. There. Or, okay? And I'm moving because of the force of this thing. I'm here, change. It looks like I'm about to hit him this side, I change. Okay? Here, or I could here, but instead, hit him up to the face. Or I go to the face, then go to the body. Okay? Or I'm here, he's taking this, the head, he closes. I catch him in his thigh. To the ribs, instead of the ribs, I catch him in the thigh. Going like I'm going to the thigh, catch him to the head on the other side. Okay? We'll start with practicing that number 2, change it to the other side. That's the simplest way. I go here, here. Then go here to here. Okay? Let's make it happen.
Set you some.
And it's gonna work you out now. I should have brought me some water. Woo.
Mm-hmm. Slide it down a little bit right there. Oh, I cut in front of you. I'm sorry, though. I'm sorry, dear. Didn't mean to do that. Just being anxious.
Misdirection.
Good. Make them think you're gonna hit him.
Oh.
So this is what you're doing. Instead of here, that angle there, you're using the twirl to hit.
Oh, okay.
The twirl. So a lot of times you see a person twirling. And don't do this twirl like this when you're opening your hand. It's gonna fly out your hand.
It's a movie twirl.
Right. Keep your fist locked. You gotta work your wrist. And that's when you're using one hand to work your wrist. Unless your wrist hurt, then don't do that. But when you go here, so you have a hand sliding down, and I change it to that side. When it slides, I keep it down there, and I use the circular motion of that to change. Or I'm coming here, and I change. It's here, and then that changes there. Instead of stopping yourself pulling back, no. You circle, boom,
He
here.
also uses the momentum of his footwork to help that. He's coming forward already, and then he uses that to help change his momentum.
Go ahead.
I can do that, but I'm still hitting the same place.
So twirl to the other side. Yes, there you go. Like you're doing number 2, but then twirl into his ribs.
Oh.
And on that same side ribs.
I just feel like I'm gonna.
You'll get it. It's just practice.
I just
You just
I
use
feel
the
like,
tool for the first time live.
Right.
on-
have as
on
much
the podcast.
They're doing the same thing you're doing right now at home. So it's
Right,
like,
that's all. Just live.
I feel like I don't have as much control over the twirl, and I don't want it to.
It's just working it.
Crazy.
And
It's
it's
just working.
because you in that skirt.
and the space and well, the skirt not gonna hurt it too much, but because we're in a confined space and trying not to break the window and
Right,
all
right,
kind of
all
shit in
that
your
stuff.
mind.
Thinking about
And the footwork, once you get that step, that'll help you turn like that.
Right.
I almost want to come on.
Why not? Go ahead. If it's there, boom. Right down on that shoulder
Yeah, I get.
or the
The
center
weapon.
space, the arm, yes.
So you don't necessarily have to. Doesn't have to be a defined thing that you're swinging for the first time, as long as they don't know what you're about to swing at.
Right. So in the flow in combat, you're being deceptive. Your training will tell you I can go from here to here, whatever, and then the situation, because they may have their arm up on the other side, so you don't want to go to that side, so you go around, but the arm goes up to defend them, and then you change that right to there. You work about to hit them in the neck, but also that allows you to come right down. So learning how to twirl from there. So you can go here, here, work that, here to the neck, and then you work to the ribs. And then you work on, I was about to go here, instead I go to the ribs. I was about to go to the rib, I go to the knee, because the knee is out. They're about to do something. They stand at a deep stand.
You
So
just like with the
whatever.
head and you see the knee.
the knee, right. It's there. If it's there, use it. If it's there,
Use it.
if it's there, use it. So they standing with their knee. Ah! You break the hell out that knee because it's there. It's projected out, tear it up. Okay? If a person goes down at a sparring match, if you will, with a capoeira person, and we don't spar. So, but we do meet challenges. Okay, if my life depends on it, or when I was younger, just because of just challenging me, why is he doing that? Person goes down with both hands on the ground to try to kick me in the head, and I kick the beef. I don't say Jesus. I don't want to disrespect Jesus. I kick the hell out their arm. Okay, and they collapsed, which didn't allow them to kick. I won't say what art that was.
You did.
You already did.
Did I?
He said,
Oh, oops. I'm old, so I'm messing up.
And we can't edit it.
I'm messing up being diplomatic, and we can't edit it yet.
The point
So,
is, it's there.
The point is that it's there, use it. He put his hands down, then I'm going to take it. If I had a bat, and he put his hands down to do a hamana, whatever you call it, I'm going to hit that. The reason why I do that too, and is because you're dealing with an art that is strongly rooted in African tradition, but you're using Portuguese names. And that's all I'm going to say on that. You all have common sense. My son has, and all of them, all 8 of my children have African names. For me to say, unless my grandmother was from Portugal, and I'm honoring her, I'm not going to say Abiola. What's a Portuguese name? How or Ade? How? Because how's a man? Oluwade. How? Oje Tade. That doesn't make sense.
You're not gonna call out Shay Chi.
Right. Ashe is not chi. We're not doing that. And out of respect, we're not going to call chi Ashe. Okay. We're not going to call karate an African tradition.
Respect the culture.
You respect what you have. So if you're dealing with an art that's African, okay, then respect it and don't give it, unless the language now, the language that the Portuguese spoke was Portuguese. Unfortunately, the colonized Portuguese, all those Portuguese Africans, right? The enslaved Africans. They called it those names because they were forced to speak Portuguese.
Right.
Same when we learn a technique, we learn them in English because we speak English. A lot of the things I will give in one of the African languages. But generations down, and we're all speaking, say we're speaking Bateke language, then we best be teaching it in the Bateke language, not keep teaching in English because I speak English. Y'all got me? So that's why I do that. I'm not making fun of the art. The language to me is just ridiculous because it affects how you think. That's why they made us speak their languages and say, I'll help you if you speak my language. That affects your mind. That affects your mindset. When I affect your mindset, I affect your actions, right? Where a brother said to another brother, man, the barren bow, the Africans probably use that as a bow and arrow too. The barren bow is purely for music. There's no way you could use that. I said, well, you could use it as a blunt instrument at least. The barren bow is for music. They would not have done that because he doesn't even think that way.
There's some everyone's aware of that in certain languages there isn't a word for something that a concept that you might know. So exactly. If there's no word for it, then you're not going to be
you change the whole thinking of a person by making them also reading. You read things on the wall. Most African languages, they were written from right to left. We read from left to right. All that has affected us. Okay.
All the ancient languages.
Right. Chinese they still stick with theirs, right to left. You know what I mean? But now you go throughout the continent, they're not usually reading right to left. They're reading left to right. All right. So that's redirection. Redirection makes it very difficult to defend yourself against this tool. So you only have really one simple defense, and that's the close. Okay? Come over real quick. I'm trying to hit you with that tool. You close on me. You got to get past this barrel. You close on me to the best of your abilities. Now, if I have it short, hard to get past the barrel. That's really hard. But this is why we're going to add another part to it. Just get past the barrel first. Right. So he saved himself barrel out here. Okay. Get past that barrel. I'm gonna come down your head. So get past the barrel. Don't even put your hands up. Just close on me. Right. So it's out there. Way out here. If I hit you to your legs, you gotta get in close because you can't put your hands down there. I'm out here. Okay. Either call it to the thigh. I'm not going to try to hit him in his knee, but I would in the street. But I hit him in his thigh and his. Just be a big old goddamn softball size bruise right there. So if you don't move, okay, don't be lazy with your self-defense. Now, and then boom. Now you say I can't move that quickly, then move deeply. So if explosive is not what you can do, step as far as you can. Okay. If you have a cane, push that cane out so it's got your balance and step. You got to close on them. You got to get past this. Don't say I can't, because I can't will send you to the hospital or the morgue. And if you just absolutely can't, you're in a wheelchair or something like that, you move the wheelchair in on them as quickly as possible, or you start firing. You best have a firearm. And if I'm this close to you and he goes to pull a firearm, I'm going to tear his ass up. So just don't be so reliant on the firearm. That's all you got. Told my daughter, my youngest, she keeps a knife on, right? All my daughters keep knives on my son, right? So she's 12, keeps a knife on. It's good. She bought her own knife. Fits her specifications, all of that. She bought her own knife. Said, do not. You pull that knife, but you move in on them, they got a baseball bat. Because if you try to take a knife and stop this, Now her knife is small, but he tries to stop this. He said he want to hit my hand. And I got this here. He extends that hand, I'm going to break his damn hand. Now, I'm just aiming at the knife, but I'm going to hit his hand. Yeah. And it's going to be just as effective as hitting that knife. Probably more effective. I'm going to crack his hand.
You're going to have the knife you can take with you.
Yeah. It's like after that, when he, Yowie! Now he's going to get hit in the head.
Disarming.
I'm going to take it, right, exactly. That's a disarm. Not disarming like this with my forearm. I'm going to disarm him, boom. And I'm all bad position, foot up, but this here, it don't matter. That's gonna tear that ass up. Okay? So move in. Now he can shake it up. Okay. He moves in. No, even so
I just want to cut off.
move in on here. Right? He moves in and it's out there and he gutted me too. Okay. Now that's bad. That's bad for me. That'd be good for him. You could go against the arm, but the force of this, it may knock that out your hand. I get cut some, but it can still knock it out your hand. You still can catch it, right?
I'll do better crashing than coming up with
exactly.
Or hitting that thigh.
Okay. So what we're gonna do now is move in against it, but because he may have it like this, we're gonna put our hands up. Take this, go from the right side, and then put your dominant hand down. Yeah, they can see.
It ain't like that. It's like this.
Oh, you shoot from the, that's right. You're right. You're going from the right side. Good. All right. So they can see.
They're good.
Put your hands up. You're reaching. Okay. I believe y'all can still hear me. Let's see. Yeah, don't bring a knife to a bat fight. Exactly. So he's swinging. I'm putting my hands up like I'm about to Superman and fly.
Should we shoot this around?
Okay. He's swinging. I'm putting my hands up like Superman. Now go to the short, like that, like you're going through a hallway. Yeah, bring it up a little bit more, like that. Right. He's swinging at me. If I just try to close, I'm gonna catch it. So this is up. Boom. It's there. That catches into the neck. That catches the arm. That redirects him. He was trying to swing here, but by training, to redirect, he will redirect to my side. But look where I'm at. I'm close. He tries to redirect to my side. It doesn't catch me. The barrel's out there. So you catch him here. And then you wrap over. You wrap that arm over. You push him away. This hand, so they can see, this hand is touching my side. Okay? So this hand touched my side, so that's locked in. I push him away, and now I turn towards the side that doesn't have, so it's under here, I turn the other way.
Oh, boy.
You okay?
Yeah.
That's why I let go of your neck. So you push, and right, I know. That's why he's saying tap. It's affecting his wrist.
I want to let go right here.
And that's what you want, but training, he said, I want to let go. He may be on drugs, like old boy was on, cocaine.
Right.
So he may not let go, but you're keeping this here so he can't pull it out. He can't pull it out. And then, I hit him, catch him with those elbows. Come around so they can see. I catch him. Boom! Right. He got both his hands are trapped, and so he's gonna let go to try to defend himself. And at that point, now I got the bat.
As soon as I let go, it's over.
I got the bat, and now boom.
Not to mention what just happened to this in that process. This got tore up.
Yeah, his wrist.
Yeah, that was
jacked up. That's why he's like, ow. This is going to let go once I crack if he can, because he wanted to defend himself. Crack him again, and while he's concentrating on that, you get the bat. And then you bring it down. I'm gonna do that one more time.
This is for the short one.
For the short and the long. If you want me to do it from the long, from here, because that's the one that really scares folk, right? Watch out for the light there. He's coming in. Do not let him. You gotta catch him here at best. Here, it's too late. I step in on him now. He just changed that, and boom, I'm done. Do not let it get here. You can't be frozen, paralyzed by fear. I'm not going to tell you don't be afraid, but have courage. Courage is overcoming that fear. When he goes up to swing, that's when I move. Okay? He goes up to swing, I move. Superman died. You say, well, what went down on his neck? Move it over to his neck. Once I protected myself, move it over to his neck. And you ain't even got to move it to his neck yet. Just wrap this and touch your own side.
Now you got both hands. When you swing long,
right.
Now you got both. This is worse.
And then I push out, elbow.
I'm trapped.
Elbow. Elbow. He can't get his hand out now.
I'm trapped. This is nasty. This is the worst. Way worse.
He bends to protect himself. Now I throw shots to his rib. And then I throw elbow down into his head. Elbow. 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 Hold on to that bat as long as you can. Okay? So now y'all work those two. And I'm gonna go on. So homie Nikki, you working on the technique.
All right, so I'm coming at you with the batting, but the Superman that hope. So I'll come at you. Okay, all right. And
so don't move away from it when you do that. That gives him too much come away. They give him too much give. If I go like this, catch it, and then I'm moving here, I don't want him to have no comfort. I'm here, and that's where I catch him at. So he's crowded. Okay? Exactly. You take his space.
okay. Yes.
Yes.
Keep this back.
Good. And if you can't reach him with the elbow because he's so tall, smack to the head, the face, the ear.
You can elbow that neck too. You still get that.
Yep, you can elbow the neck. If he bends, start hammering his ribs up in here. Bring it down. Yep.
Make sure to keep that hand.
And keep that tight. Keep that to your side. If it starts to go down across the weight, at least hold it to your belly and just hammer.
She didn't want to do it because she felt me go on my toes when she did it, but that's what's supposed to happen. If you got
right.
it tight in there, it's going to make me uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's supposed to be uncomfortable. All right, let's do it one more time.
That I can pull. I can take the bat.
No, that's the long way. You can't take the bat there. Both his hands capped underneath.
Right.
If it's short stuff, you can now. Okay. He's getting ready to hit. You come in at him.
So now.
And now you elbow strike this way. Right.
That's going to get this. Yeah.
And now, while he's concentrating, now you reach down and you grab that hand. Right. And boom. Right. Exactly. That's how you do that. Now, they're trying to hit you to your legs. He's trying to hit to the legs.
You drop the camera some so you can see. All right.
We don't change this. You ain't got time to get to the leg now you go hit. You don't be thinking of that. It's scary enough. You can't be changing technique. He's going to kick my leg. That's why I move in again. Okay? Move in. See, it's out there. The same thing. I went for the Superman. I realized I got him here, but his arm down here. So now I wrap down here and bring that to me. If I can't bring it up, it's too heavy, I put my hand on my belly down here or to my hip, depending on how long my arms are. Okay? I put it on my belly down here. Hit it. Bring it up. Hit. Hit again. Hit.
And by having this, having me like this is uncomfortable with my hands. So it's
right. His elbows. Yeah. There's other things I could do to snap his elbow and stuff, but I'm keeping it simple for you. Okay? Hit. And that's all you have to do. Hit him into oblivion until he goes down. Okay? All right. That's it. Any questions?
Simple, not easy, but simple. You can train this. You can train this in slow motion and overcome that fear, and then start speeding it up.
And watch the video again and again. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have not subscribed.
And come to class
on
Zoom tomorrow about 23 and a half hours from now.
Yeah. Zoom classes 2 to 4 every Sunday. And so after you pay for the class, we send you the Zoom password and all that kind of stuff. And then Mondays classes are 7 to 9 p.m. on Zoom or in person. Okay, at the Trainer Dye compound. So we love to see if you're in Atlanta, if you're anywhere in the world, you can be on the Zoom call. And it's interactive. So we're working with you. You're not just going to be sitting there wondering what's going on. You get to ask questions and stuff same way as if you were in class. All right. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications.
Please do.
Follow
us on Instagram, Warriors Class.
Warrior Class BPM, yeah.
African Martial Arts.
There's also Remix Morning Show every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 8 to 10 a.m. Excuse me. We're on there Thursdays with the Technique of the Week from 9 o'clock to 9:15, 9:20.
Appreciate you for chilling with us, Big Till.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Big Till. And then Carpe Diem, everybody. Remix Morning Show. I mix what I like. I mix what I like. I love that. My wife always when it comes, I mix what I like. That's Jared Ball's show.
Oh, okay.
That's Mondays and Fridays. Mondays 8 to 10. Fridays 8 to 10. We got Luke Mine Nation, Jackie Luke Mine.
Are you supposed to be battling
The
them?
Myth Podcast. We're supposed to be battling. So we Kalonji said, he'll go for it. He got to talk to the rest of them. Battling the Remix Morning Show. We got bars, so I don't know if they really want to do that anyway.
I'll be the DJ.
Oh, snap. There we go. And we got on that Sundays, tomorrow, Sundays with the Ear Doctor, he's DJing live every Sunday. And it's dope. He did a couple weeks ago, last week? Yeah, last week, I believe.
Man, tell me about us, man. We trying to grow. We really want to grow this channel. We want to grow this page, man. So,
like our media.
Let people know about Warrior Class, if you will. Let a couple folks know.
Much love to y'all. Thank you for supporting us.
Much love. Be safe out there. Remember, batter up. Get you one. Wood.
Get you two.
Aluminum. Get you two. Wood and aluminum. However you're going to do it. Love y'all. Stay black. Peace.